Hi everybody, I'm Haley. So today I wanted to share a personal story of mine. This is something that I have fought for like the longest time, I would say. I have struggled with sibling envy for the past 20 years. So if you ever felt like you live in someone else's shadow, especially with your siblings, then this video is for you. Today I'm going to talk about how I dealt with my feelings, what I have learned, and how I'm able to move past it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Growing up, I always envied my sister. She had this natural talent of making friends. Like anywhere she went, people just loved her. People are just naturally drawn into her while she gets more attention from them. She was really popular, she's outgoing, and always the center of attention. And honestly, it made me feel invisible. I remember watching her from the sidelines, often thinking, well, why is it so easy for her and why is it so difficult for me? I even started to believe that having a lot of friends meant that you are going to be successful in the future. And why I had that thought, it's because I always wanted to be a successful person. At that time, YouTube just starting out. So I went to YouTube and went to the search bar and just searched, what is a successful person, or what trait does a successful person have? And oftentimes, whenever I watch the videos or just TED Talks, they always lay out like, oh, you have to have great interpersonal skills so that you'll be successful in the future. Every time, like, I saw my sister, I felt like, oh, she's more successful than I am. Wow. This is something that I don't have, and that means I'm not successful enough. So I've tried hard, I've fought long and hard to be successful, but it never worked out. My sister, she's winning at that game. She was the star of the family, star of the friends, or my friends at least, and even just like her more than I do. And then it felt like nobody likes me, or at least I am always second choice compared to her. She is everybody's first choice, but I'm never anyone's first choice. As a kid, I secretly competed with her. I tried to make more friends, but it just never worked out. Instead, I just watched her getting better and better, and it felt like no matter what I did, I could never catch up. Then someone would say, well, Haley, it's probably because you haven't tried hard enough. Well, yes, I tried being myself in the beginning, and nobody appreciated or nobody noticed my authentic self. Even if I show my authentic self, people would still be running to her instead of me. And then I was like, oh, nobody likes my true self. Then what if I just mimic the way my sister does, like what people love, right? And it still doesn't work. I tried to mimic my sister's personality, what she does, how does she say stuff, and people wouldn't even take notice of me. It doesn't make a difference. It's because they felt like, oh, I'm not being me. There's always something wrong with me, to the point that I got self-conscious of myself, and I always felt like I'm a worthless piece of shit. So we fought a lot growing up. I get so frustrated and argue endlessly. Sometimes our friends would try to step in and stop us, but no one really understood how I felt though. They tell me I was overthinking, or what I thought is bullshit, just dump that thought. Or like, they call me crazy, like why I even had that thought in the first place. And despite me telling them, no one ever listened or truly cared, or at least try to understand. They just think I have problems. I have an issue with my sister. And people telling me to let go, but it's not that really simple. A close friend of mine tried to help. She sat me down and said, well, you don't need to compare yourself to her. You know, you're just amazing the way you are. Like, yes, thank you. I had many people in my life tell me I am amazing the way I am. Like, I understand, but it really didn't help. It felt like everyone's just dismissing my feelings, and no one understands why I even thought of having a lot of friends felt so important with me, at least. Every time I saw my sister hang out with her friends, or at least sometimes with my friends, right? Because we have common friends. And then they just have fun and just laughing and just casually hanging out. I always felt this sense of jealousy. I always said shit things about her to other people. I mean, we both did. Like, we both say shit things about each other to other people because we didn't understand each other back then. So we had lots of misunderstandings and anger. And since we both had a lot of issue regarding not just this, but we can understand each other, how we felt or like what we were thinking. And then we would just be so pissed to the point that we would vent out to other people. So yeah, but it is a constant cycle of guilt and envy, and it really weighed on me. It pressured me a lot, at least. I think part of the reason why it was so hard for me and why others have a hard time of understanding me, it was because having a lot of friends isn't just about popularity. For me, it is a measure of my worth. If I had more friends, I would be more likable, successful, and valuable. But here's the thing, not everybody sees it that way. Some people are fine having a small, close-knit group of friends, and that's amazing. But for me, at that time at least, it felt like I was failing at something that came so naturally to my sister. I think a lot of people struggle to understand this. It's because they don't see friendships that way, at least. They might think, why does it matter how many friends you have? Or quality over quantity, right? While that's true, it's not that simple when you're in the middle of it. When you're constantly comparing yourself to someone else, especially your sibling, it's easy to lose sight of what really mattered. And for me, that is exactly what happened. I think over time, especially last year is the year that where me and my sister officially reconciled with each other throughout like the past 20-ish years. And I had gained a lot, I would say. At least I have come to understand the importance of true meaningful connections instead of viewing it as a competition. And nowadays, I've come to, I would say, treasure the people that I know already. And the more I know about myself, that I actually prefer a small group of friends, I would say, instead of having a big group of friends. It is simply the people who likes you, values you, and you are going on the same way. That's what your friend is for. And I've come to know this ever since, over time, as I had know more of the stuff. If you ever felt like you live in someone else's shadow, I want you to know that it's okay. It's okay to feel jealous, it's okay to struggle, but don't let those feelings define you. Focus on yourself instead of focusing on others' achievements. Celebrate your little wins. And then if you have sibling envy, like me, or just you envy someone that is close to you or someone that you know, just view them as a teammate. Or if you need help from them, just ask them how did they do it, instead of viewing them as a competitor. Thank you so much for watching, and if this story resonated with you or you wanted to share your story, let me know down below in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I'm gonna post some future videos. Until next time, see you, bye!